Before that, we had Rachel Kurtz with Saturday's Disciples.
Which we heard a couple times.
We heard a couple times. There seems to be a little...
glitch.
A little ghost in that song. That's okay. We had Flip Rushmore with Fife and Merle. And we started with Colin Bracewell. You are listening to Mostly Minnesota Music on WMCN 91.7 FM on the beautiful, sunny college campus in McAllister and St. Paul. We are super excited to have Surly Grrly in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe I'll have you each introduce yourself so people can put the voice with the name, and just tell us a little bit about how you got involved in music.
Well, I'm Maeve, and I sing and play guitar for Surly Grrly.
I'm Eloise, and I also sing and play guitar for Surly Grrly.
And sometimes we also play other instruments.
Yeah.
We switch it up a lot. But we became friends in college, reconnecting after a childhood friendship that kind of faded when I moved away from the Twin Cities to New York. But we reconnected in college and started playing music together, and are just the best musical partners.
Yes. Yeah. And my I guess music has always been involved in my life because my mom is a musician, my dad's a musician, and like my grandpa's a musician.
You come from some serious Minnesota stuff.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So it's always been around. So.
Tell us a little bit about the music that you play, because it's a certain brand that I was immediately at. The first time I saw you played with Cindy Lawson, and I thought, this is an amazing, my heart was so big to go from Cindy Lawson to you folks. So tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you.
Well, was that at the White Squirrel?
It was.
Okay, that was a special
show for us, because that was intentionally a protest show. We played a very different set from what we usually play, and there were lots of covers.
Yeah.
And it was honestly a pretty stressful show.
Tell people just a little bit about this, for people who haven't heard before, a little bit about the type of music, because it was, what I loved about it is I could see dudes in the audience start to sweat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
could too.
Thank you.
Because you play just very passionately protest music.
Yeah, I definitely would consider it feminist protest punk, which someone was talking to me about that just the other day. He was like, so you write feminist protest music, and I just I really think it's more just that that's what comes out of us. We both write what we're feeling and what we want to get out of ourselves and share with other people, and that just happens to be feminist protest punk, because we got a lot of stuff to be angry about.
Yeah.
Well, I have often said, I'm like, you guys sing what I would like to say. Gen X, different generation, you wouldn't get away with saying a lot of this stuff, so you didn't, and then you're trained not to, and then it's, I find myself still where I was at a bar, someone was talking about, to my friend, I'm like, we're now married if that guy comes back. I'm like, if I were a younger person, I would just say, nothing for you, leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, it's tricky. I feel like part of it is using the music that we write to hold ourselves accountable to ourselves, and I've found myself thinking of lyrics that I thought I was writing to inspire other people that ended up being what I needed to feel empowered, and I was like, oh, thank you, past self, I really needed that right now. But I think it's about release for me a lot. It's I need to empower myself by announcing the things that I announce in my music, and then holding myself to that attitude, because it is easy to dismiss things and be passive when you're dealing with stuff like that.
It is, and then you kind of pass it on to the next person.
Yeah,
I've made a conscious effort to try to be better about stopping stuff like that, because you're and I'm better if I see it happen to somebody that's not me.
Yeah, it's
dude, leave her alone.
Up. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, it reminds me of your song, "Hey Little Girl," or
we're gonna be playing.
Okay.
That
today. Yes, very much so.
Tuned. Yeah.
Well, you guys are holding guitars. Would you like to play something now?
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna we're playing acoustic right now, which has never been done, Surly Grrly. So We'll see.
We'll see.
Faith.
But this one is called Walk the Talk.
Okay. Oh, my favorite.
You wanna start it off, Eloise?
Yep.
But you never listen. No, you never listen. And you walk 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 and you walk, but you never get there. No, you never get there. I've had enough of your manipulation. I think you better let it in moderation. Don't you know you radiate desperation? You talk and 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 you talk, but you never listen. No, you never listen. And you walk 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 and you walk, but you never get there. No, you never get there. Figure out what you stand for, or you can just walk out the door. I won't put up with your ick anymore. 'Cause you talk and 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 you talk, but you never listen. No, you never listen. And you walk 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 and you walk, but you never get there. No, you never get there. No, you never get there. No, you never get there.
Yeah.
Woo!
I love the acoustic sound.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good.
It feels different.
Yeah.
Hurts a bit more.
I can see that. What have the reaction for folks been? I mean, people love the music, the feminism, the both, the all, the...
Both and all. I
Yeah.
mean, it's funny because there actually are like a lot of dudes in our audience that are just like, wow, I love your music, you guys are awesome. And then there's also a lot of other people who come up to us and are like, I really needed that, and like, thank you. And that stuff is kind of crazy and awesome. And it's like, that's what the point is, you know, like, that's who we want to be receiving our music, is people who can get something from it. So I think it's really cool to see how people respond to it.
Yeah. Just recently, we played at Piss Fest at the entry with Vile, which was amazing and like
Yeah.
a dream come true. And you know, I like invited people, and this dude who I work with went, and then, you know, after he was like, great show, and then later he was talking about it and describing it as like a lineup of mostly women or like femme people, basically just like tearing a new one for like old white men. And he was there in the audience and he was like, I'm not sure if I should be here or if this is for me. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
like,
you
this
just need
is-
to listen.
yeah, this is like, this is directed towards you, and you know, you bought a ticket, you're supporting us, and if like, hopefully it like makes an impact in how you think about like how you interact with people and live your life. Yeah.
It's, well, we were talking about that show at the White Squirrel, because that was, and there were a lot of old white dudes there. I mean, Cindy Lawson is more or less a contemporary of mine, so they're, you know, we have my kids are age 18 to 24, you know, we have, and so it is a different generation. And as I looked across, you could just see, and now he gets it, and now he gets it. Not all of them, and it's not, but sometimes you have to be shown a picture of yourself to know, to help them become more accountable.
Yeah. Well, that show was like one of the only times that I've stepped off stage and instead of anyone coming up to like, I mean, a couple of people ended up working up the guts to talk to us, but like all the men in the crowd like just like parted. Like we just like had a clear path. And actually we found out after that show, because the purpose of that show was to protest venues in town and specific families of venues for having security like abuse people and for like making women face repercussions for reporting things at the venues. And we found out after that set that there were known abusers in that audience at that show.
I remember hearing that.
And so then we had people reaching out and saying, like, it was so brave of you to do that knowing that there were abusers there. And we were like, what? We did not know. But also, of course, there are. Like, yeah.
That's it.
Unfortunately. But, that was a really intense show, but I am really glad we did it. And there were some people that it sounded like it was really good for in the audience. And so I'm glad that we could give that to them.
It's a catharsis. Well, and as I said, that I remember coming up to you after the show and saying, I have a radio show, we're booked to the end of the semester, but how about, I mean, it was just such, and it really to have you with Cindy Lawson, because feminist music sounded different. I mean, as all music changes, but the things that you were able to say, so to see that progression was just amazing.
Yes.
Do you have some bands that you listen to that helped you, that influence?
Yes.
Yeah,
well, I'll say it just off the top of my head, one of the songs that we cover that we found semi-recently is Suggestion by Fugazi.
Yeah.
And Fugazi, super cool dude punk band.
Yeah.
But that song is like so incredibly feminist and relevant to this day. And, we're not applauding them for doing the bare minimum. Yeah. But it is, and it's like a beautiful song. It's fun to play, and like you can really channel your feelings into that one. And like Fugazi's cool.
There's just
I feel like we don't really have like specific musical influences that inspire what we write, but we both listen to so much music and so much music made by other like similar artists that I think it all just kind of like the stuff that we're into and the stuff that we like covering ends up influencing newer stuff that we work on. And also, I mean, like, it's hard to figure out what our influences are because we have only written one album.
Yeah.
And it was a couple years ago, and we're working on new stuff right now. But, it was a very DIY first album. So, yeah. We'll figure out our sound eventually.
Well, and they can change.
Yeah.
I mean, for
That's
most
the
people,
fun part.
that's it. It's, yeah.
You might have a country album next. You don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not. That could be cool.
We'll talk about this privately.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying,
country encompases so like
Yeah.
It's like Hank Williams.
Anyway, okay, Hank Williams, sure.
I was going to say, I feel like for how strong you are and rooted in what you believe and what you want to represent, I want to be at your holiday table tomorrow and hear the conversation, because I kind of get sweaty for people that can't handle it and they can't leave the house.
Mm-hmm.
Is it filled with your thoughts in there, or is it, every holiday you're like, I got another song?
Well, I feel like for me, I don't know, at some point it's exhausting. Like if you have a family member or a couple that just say like out of pocket stuff about women, or like their own like needs. And eventually you just kind of, I don't know. I haven't given up, but it's hard to, you kind of have to pick your battles.
Yeah.
With.
True.
Yeah. I luckily don't run into that a lot with my, like, family and personal circles, but, I hear what you're saying, like, sometimes, I don't know, like, I feel like between the music and just, like, the stuff I'm passionate about, I feel like I'm spending so much energy working on, like, trying to make things better all the time, and sometimes it is exhausting.
Yeah.
My favorite part of, like, you know, holiday gatherings and stuff is how other people interact with us based on our music.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, sometimes, like, an older family member wants to, like, hear what we sound like. And I'm like, here, listen. And they're like, whoa, okay. Yeah.
Teachable moment.
That's it.
Something I've been getting a lot recently from people that I've met here in town who didn't know about Surly Grrly, once they see us, they always say to me that, like, they didn't expect me to be so, like, angry. Like, a lot of people see me as, like, a very, like, bubbly and, like, sweet and quiet, and then after they see me on stage, they're like, whoa, I did not know that was in you.
Yeah,
and that's just my personality. Like, I'm not, like, you know, covering it up, but there's different contexts where, you know, I'm being chill and I'm being angry. Like,
right.
Well, there's the old line, if you're not angry, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I'm always angry.
Yes.
But you gotta decide to be, like, bubbly and, you know, just have a good time sometimes if you can.
The sugar with the medicine.
Yep, totally.
Would you play another song for us?
Yeah, yes. I gotta quickly tune this. This one is called Surly Girl. It's the title track of our album, Surly Girl.
And these songs, you know, we're on air, and we cuss, you know,
a lot.
And so we've like made some makeshift replacements, or like just not saying anything when there is a swear word. So
yeah, we're gonna be staring at the lyrics the whole time, just making sure that we don't swear. So. Wait, sorry, this is not on me, right? I'm not used to playing acoustic anymore. Glitter and we skin our knees. We don't say sorry and we don't say please. We'll call out your toxic masculinity, and we'll fight you if you disagree. I'm a surly girl 'cause I don't take, and I'm a surly girl 'cause you're a freaking. I'm a surly girl and a raging bitch. I'm a surly girl and a witch. We kiss ladies and we stomp on men. We don't get taxes, but we do get revenge. If we hear you like to touch without consent, you will bleed and never touch a woman again. I'm a surly girl 'cause I don't take, and I'm a surly girl 'cause you're a freaking. I'm a surly girl and a raging bitch. I'm a surly girl and a witch. tricky.
I have to say thank you for making everything radio friendly, because that's not an easy feat to not sing to not do something's the hardest.
Yeah, especially when you're so used to doing it.
Yeah. And it feels really good to do it too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, now we can use this recording to send to the grade schools.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you know what?
Oh. And we didn't use an
totally
expletive
fine.
then either.
Yeah. Whoops. Egad. That's all fun. No, but I actually taught middle school science for a semester in New York after I graduated college, and this is after Grrly started, and I do not think that I can pursue professional education with what's online now.
Probably not.
Did you see our teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple little instances, but it was all fine.
And it was middle school, did you say?
Middle school, yeah.
Were they okay with it? I mean, I've taught from preschool to graduate school. I have taught.
Yeah, I mean, most of the kids that found out about the band thought it was really cool, and then there were some kids that, tried to get me in trouble for it, but the principal was like, there's nothing that you need to be in trouble for. So it worked out
after
fine,
hours, baby. Yeah. That's... Well, and in a funny way, age appropriate, but that is when people should be. I go to a lot of protests, and it's the kids. Pardon myself, but the kids' consent protest that is the most amazing, because they have thousands of people come out, starting in high school, really. And I think that is exactly what, middle school is probably when that should start.
You say consent protest?
Yeah.
Nice.
We need to be into consent. We need to teach consent.
Yeah.
We need to teach consent. And it's it's really led by, as I said, high schoolers, really high schoolers, And I can my daughters are like, you're not going to be there, are you? I'm like, I live stream for the Women's March. I'm sorry, I will be. But it just makes my heart, because these are the conversations that should. It's no help to you in college.
Yeah.
It is still help, but it's much better.
But not
to
if you
have.
Start learning it then.
Oh, I mean that. It's harder than not singing the swears is getting out of a habit of not demanding consent.
Yeah.
Because that. Yeah. And what it does to your psyche to not assume and expect it. Mm-hmm. I think that's I'm gonna get you some gigs in middle school. No.
Yeah, let's go. But yeah, I feel like consent is taught along with sex education for high schoolers, and consent is not just sexual.
No, yeah.
Consent should be taught from the very beginning, so that no one has to then unlearn it the hard way.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that even starts with you. You don't have to kiss your Uncle Joe. You don't have to give Auntie Jane a hug.
Do you want a hug?
Yeah.
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 It's okay if you don't.
It is. It is. And I think that just the help that would be for mental health. One, kids who know who they should and shouldn't hug. And also they know when they're not in the mood for it.
Yeah. And that should be totally okay.
Mr. Rogers is on later.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need a hug now. Yeah.
That's actually the last song that we're going to play on this show today. There's a line about not having to give hugs to people, and it's directed at young kids, so that's relevant.
Well, as I said, I do. And due to the beauty of the internet, it's not like kids don't hear swearing at a very But I don't know what the big deal is. We all learned a lot more about the FCC this week, figuring out there actually isn't a list of words. It's all based on a little bit of context and what somebody thinks of it, but. That's not the case in the UK. That's not the case in most other countries. You can say whatever you stinking want any stinking time. And it's when I've lived over there, there's the shock value of an American just said the F word, and then you don't notice it. It's not it's not every other word, but who cares if it is? It's just those are just words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are just words. Tell us about some of the shows that you've got coming up. I know you've got the Turf Club.
Yeah, we have Turf Club on May 25th with All the Pretty Horses and a couple other awesome bands. I think it's Butter Boys and the Silent Treatment. I think that's the rest of the lineup.
Nice.
And then after that, we're back at Mortimer's for the Pride Month June residency, which is what got us here in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, we had that residency last summer, and it was the first time we, like, started playing regularly in the Twin Cities, and then playing that residency is what convinced me to move here. And so I've been here ever since, and we're playing it again, and we're going to have a lot of awesome local bands on those bills. I'm really excited about it. And then we have some stuff that we've started booking later into the summer, but you will have to wait to find out. Because also, we're, like I said, we're working on new music, so we're kind of focusing on that right now, and then putting the rest together after we finish some new stuff up.
Yeah.
Well, the residency is fun because you can pick who you want to
Exactly.
play with and lift up and do all of that.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah. We're going for, like, not themes, but, like, for every week we're picking a lineup that makes, kind of makes sense together.
Yeah.
And is, like, putting together different, like, stories of people we're playing with.
I can't tell you the whole, like, lineup situation off the top of my head, but the first one on June 7th is going to be us and Crush Scene and Mary Jam and Cannabis Kiss. And all of those people are just awesome human beings and awesome bands, and it's going to be a super fun kickoff.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. And we're big fans of Venus DeMar. So
Yes, and Venus is also going to be playing with us on our last show of the residency, and Rebel Queens, too.
Oh,
Oh
awesome.
my
Yeah.
gosh! Wow.
Yeah. And apparently Metal Marty, who's from Super Suckers, is going to be hopping on.
I was
for
like, wait, hold on.
June
Super
21st.
Suckers?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of fun to come.
Yes.
Super Suckers, infamously known as a feminist forward band.
Yeah.
She used to be pretty, but all at the grain. All at the grain. So that's
Well, yeah, that's it was a suggested lineup, and we
I have seen the Super Suckers many times.
we have not, but we're excited to see.
I have to
what
believe
Metal
that
Marty
there's
has
you
for us.
bring an I look through an ironic eye.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say.
All right, good to know.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We're always skeptical.
Do you guys want to play another song?
Yes, this is our last one live today, and it's Hey Little Girl. I think I'm not gonna play this so that I can focus on not swearing.
Great.
And I'm also gonna back up from the mic so I can be a little bit louder.
And I will sit here.
Keep doing you, baby.
Okay.
Oh, you
Just
are
started
getting
wow.
lasted, huh?
Okay.
man.
I don't know,
I'm
it's a high-pitched
excited.
song and this is a small room, so I gotta
Yeah.
belt a little bit. Hey little girl, it's scary but true. Men think that they're entitled to you. They think you grow up just to be their toy, so they teach you when they raise you to please the boys. Hey little girl, I like your style. You can wear what you want and still be wild. Don't let the media lead you astray. Rights not diets, my body, my way. Long hair, shape, whether not too skinny. Hourglass like a princess pretty. You'll sex with men who want it, but don't be a follow daddy's rules and keep your mouth shut. Hey little girl, you can keep it. You don't have to give hugs, you can give them sass. Your body is yours and what you want it to be. No means no, no, you can't touch me. Long hair, shape, women not too skinny. Hourglass like a princess pretty. It's sex to men who want it, but don't be follow daddy's rules and keep your mouth shut. Hey little girl, can you believe that it's true? Men still get paid more than you. What does it even mean to be a girl? It's time for us to rule the freaking world! Long hair, she women not too skinny. Hourglass like a princess pretty. Give sex to men who want it, but don't be follow daddy's rules and keep your mouth shut! Keep your mouth shut! Keep your mouth shut! Keep your mouth shut!
Awesome. Surly Grrly on Mostly Minnesota Music on WMCN 91.7 FM in St. Paul. Yeah, I honestly, I think that you should be playing all the schools all the time, all the.
Yeah.
If you could play when I'm up at the legislature, that would be awesome.
Oh my gosh.
It's just, that's because there's a passion in it, and as you say, makes some people go a little ghost white, but they need to hear it. And for those of us who, as you said, saying the things that I've wanted to say for so long, or have started to say, or
Or say sorry at the same time.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is what we got a song that we're
Okay.
working on right now called "Sorry," and
Ready.
I'm trying to use it again to like hold myself accountable. Like these are the things that I say that are dismissive when people are not treating me well, and by putting those in a song, hopefully I'll start noticing more when I say those things in my life, and can be like, wait, I'm apologizing for something I don't need to be apologizing for, or I'm dismissing something that this guy should be apologizing for, So yeah, I'm glad you said that.
I need that song on repeat.
Well, because we are apologizing. Do we think that that's good modeling? Because we never get it back.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And the thing is, like, I can feel it like building inside me every time I do it. Like every time I let someone walk on me in some way, like it builds up this like anger inside me, and I would much rather like figure out how to conduct myself that's just always respectful to myself than let this anger build up and then explode,
Yeah.
And the music is like helpful for when stuff is starting to explode. Like a lot of the times when we start writing songs, it's because one of us is like, I cannot handle this anymore. Like, I need to do something and say something and like get it out of me, And yeah, I mean, then it also is just like such a relief to get it out in some way.
A catharsis.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we should start writing music, Heather.
I was going to say, can we do a video and have randos come in and, be in the situations to act out so we get the release?
Oh, there you go.
We've been thinking about getting a dude to come up on stage and let us beat him up. Because, I mean, if they're in on it, it'd be kind of fun to beat someone up on stage.
Yes. Because it's cathartic to listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have stories of, like, oh yeah, that time they sent my kid home from school because she wore yoga pants. She was you're just.
Yeah.
I showed up in my yoga pants. I always wear a dress, but I put yoga pants out and stand. I'm like, Well, I mean, it's pretty suggestive for the boys. I don't care.
I'm sorry.
She's 11 too.
Yeah.
Maybe they can learn to control themselves. Just maybe. Maybe put it on the boys there. She said, well, they can't wear shorts because it's too suggestive for the girls. I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
No. Yeah, that's better than therapy.
Yeah.
So you're working on a new album. All based up to, do you have an ETA?
Well, we don't have an official ETA because, again, we are very, very DIY.
Yeah.
But we're planning to take a little weekend together and go finish some songwriting and record some demos for our other bandmates. And then we're hoping to be playing at least most of the new album at our residency in June. So we'll at least have, like, a couple songs ready for that. We're working on, like, 6 right now, or 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can we say the good news of their GoFundMe, too?
Yeah,
Oh,
you want to give a nod to the
yes.
community?
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
Yeah. So my car got broken into, like, I don't know, like 5 months ago, and we got a bunch of gear stolen, but we were playing so many shows that I, like, never had a chance to, like, do anything about it, and we were just like, we lost all this gear. And then our drummer also lost his hi-hats. Well, they were taken at a show. and total it was like $1,000 of equipment that we lost from those two situations. So we made a GoFundMe after our last show at the Entry because we're taking a break, and I had a chance to sit down and be like, okay, can someone help please? And in like 3 days, well, first overnight we were at $250, and then overnight again 500, and then overnight again we met the goal of 1,000, which was totally crazy because we did not expect that kind of support, and it meant so much to us. And we could, you know, like see the names of the people who contributed, and it was all these people that we have met on the scene and have seen at our shows, and it was like unexpectedly a really cool way of like seeing the community that's here to support us, and it meant so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think that is the way to build community.
Yeah.
Is to ask for what you need, which kind of gets into much of your music too. If we ask for consent, we'll get it back. If we ask for different things, it's learning so much from you guys. Learning so much from you guys.
Same.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably play one song. You let us know which song we can play that's recorded. But otherwise, thank you all for being here. As I said, I as soon as I saw it, I'm like, let's get them on. Let's get them on. So
I'm so glad we finally found a date for it to work out. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. And we'll be watching the calendar. What?
Well, the FCC version that I sent you of Scrotus.
Okay.
We've got that.
All right, so Heather's going to ask you a question while I quickly get that.
I'm going to ask you a question. Can you tell us about the song at all?
Yeah, so this is a song that we never play on radio because it has a lot of swears in it, but I went in and put the same cymbal crash over every single swear. So
We got a lot of crashing.
Yeah. But we wrote it, I think 2019 for Trump and the Supreme Court. And it's about people trying to control, well, it's about men in power trying to control other people's bodies. And we have a music video for this that we shot in our college town, which was actually a very conservative small town. And
I don't know how they handled you guys.
we
there
just were like a couple small hate crimes.
Yeah.
Like actually.
Yeah.
But we have a music video shot in that town.
Shout out Earlham.
Yeah, shout out Earlham. Yeah.
Nice.
I have heard this. I'm super excited. I don't know why I thought you were sending it to me and then you were going to play it live. I knew you weren't going to have drums. And even this whole time. Sometimes the brain doesn't go all the way to the ground.
It's totally fine.
Just, yes.
Okay.
No, it's all set up here. So.
Oh, awesome. Great.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so excited for the song.
I'm glad we have a version that can be played on radio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I said now this is the one that you can share. So.
Yes.
We're standing in the wrong place.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing. Okay.
That is not Grrly. No. Don't I sound great?
Yeah. Oh, that baritone.
You know what you're doing?
I gotta listen to
It's. I dated a guy who did sound for Prince. I never say anything nice, but he had to make something FCC compliant, and he tried a number of different things. Prince's own voice going, "Ow!" was the one he chose.
Yes,
Symbols
nice,
over.
nice.
Yes.
Well, one of the stations that we've been on put in sound effects on a bunch of our songs, but they're like, like weird little computers. And when we're swearing so much, it's like every 2 words is like a strange little sound effect.
Yeah.
It's funny, but
The live stream?
Oh.
Is that...
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yes. Oh, wait, no.